What do you think you would have to do to achieve that kind of a physique at 50? First of all, you wouldn't maintain that kind of mass as you naturally got older, normally,
No,
right?
no, definitely not. Like, it's like the total. Again, it's like there's a reason why I feel that your body naturally downregulates a lot of processes too, potentially to like conserve, like stay alive longer. Because the bigger of a human you are, the faster you're gonna die in general. Like, I don't see many like 7-foot guys walking around at 80 plus years old, personally.
Very few.
Yeah.
Isn't like Bill Russell was like one of the few?
He passed away.
How old was he though? He was quite
He was-
old.
Yeah. I think he got close to 90.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but in general, like even bodybuilders, like again, they're subjecting themselves to absurd amounts of drugs, but at the same time, like the sheer body weight and the stress it imposes on all organ systems and the longevity of everything internally, not just like it's all something that accelerates you towards death faster, like essentially. So it's like total antithesis of longevity at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, you're definitely not gonna be able to sustain that at 50, even on HRT. Like you're going to have to be, he's gonna have to like transiently push the envelope fairly often if he's doing multiple rolls on a consistent basis that require this look. And it seems like he's been like pretty fucking dialed about maintaining it like year over year now.
Yeah, he's never really gotten thin or fat or never shrunk down then built back up.
Like, there's definitely something about once you've built the tissue, you can retain it with like a very modest amount, or at least to some extent. Like it's still going to typically be something outside of what would be normally achievable in terms of your hormone production, because if you went totally natural, you would just fucking melt away. But a lot of it is the building the muscle. I'm sure you can attest to building muscle is magnitudes harder than it is to just like hold your physique.
Yes.
So like you could get away with maybe working out like a few times a week with like very moderate volume and maintain exactly what you have, but to actually build, you're going to have to go into a surplus. You're going to have to increase your volume. You're going to have to increase your, you know, your rest, your sleep quality, duration, etc. Like it's all very demanding. So it's not, it wouldn't be unthinkable that, or unfathomable, whatever the terminology would be, that he would use a shit ton or like a decent amount, blast, got to where he is, and then he could sustain it with what he deems to be not healthy, but like healthy enough that he can sort of just like cruise on it and like hold his shape for whatever the foreseeable future of him doing these kind of rolls.
So what kind of stuff do you think someone would take to achieve that sort of physique?
I don't think it's very dissimilar from what like Liver King. Everything he's doing is pharmacy derived and prescribed. Like there was a reason why the compounds he chose, some of them are like, for example, Winstrol, not something that has a clinical application generally, but like there are certain medications that are only available through a pharmacy legally. You can get prescribed by a doctor and get overseen by a doctor. So like I would imagine The Rock is not touching stuff like Trenbolone. That's, you know, like an underground product that is not going to have like pharmaceutical standards for its production. And it's just not like a safe compound. Not that any of them are safe, but like generally it's not the most I don't know, risk averse compound.
And what are the risks when someone, especially when someone's like 50 and you're doing that? Like what are the risks?
Significant like heart enlargement and like impeding the actual function of the cardiovascular system in general, kidney stress, depending on if you're using oral steroids or not, liver toxicity, neurodegeneration is going to be accelerated from high doses of androgens. Like across the board, it's just like broad spectrum terrible for you above HRT.
So it is that interesting moral dilemma. Like what do those people say when they're confronted if they do want to be this, you know, they're trying to be this character that is a superhero and it's something that people are going to look up to. And, you know, they're a role model for young men. Look at this fit, healthy guy who's in the gym pushing it every day, the hardest worker in the room, like that kind of deal.
Yeah, no, it's a weird, interesting scenario. And it's wild because it's like you can know for certain The Rock wouldn't be who he is if it wasn't for the steroids
for
and
certain.
his physique.
The physique is the selling point. It's like a really hot girl who decided to just, you know, let herself go. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.